Hello, hello, what is up everybody? Fuck. My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB. God damn it. I just got back from the theater after seeing Marvel's Inhumans. This, as I'm sure most of you know, was originally supposed to be a full movie that was supposed to come out in the next couple of years, but for some reason they changed it. They turned it into a TV show on ABC. Now, before the TV show premieres on television, they decided to put the first 2 episodes in theaters, but not just in theaters, in IMAX, for all of us to pay and go see. Fuck. Before I get into the premise of the show, before I get into the characters or lack thereof, I'm just gonna say that this sucked. And I'm trying to be fair because look, there are shows where the first 1 or 2 episodes are a little rough and it needs a few more to get its footing, to get going, and then it gets better. Or maybe by season 2 it gets better. That's happened for plenty of shows. Hell, I reviewed the first episode of Lethal Weapon, that show, and I hated it. I shat all over it, and then people have since they've commented and said, hey, give it a chance, it got better. I won't, but it's possible. But from what I've seen in this first 2 episodes, the plot is we meet these Inhumans, a bunch of people with superpowers, almost like mutants, but we can't use mutants, the term, because Fox owns X-Men. So this is what we're doing. And the reason why this is all an issue for me is that this show, this episode, poorly explains all of this. Like, there's no real explanation for what Inhumans are, for what the Terrigen Mist is, and how it turns people into Inhumans. It just presents all of this stuff and expects you to know what the fuck is going on. Luckily for me, not only have I seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that has set some of this stuff up, but I've researched a little bit as far as the comics and the characters and the lore of Inhumans. So I knew more than I probably should have. But other people who are just coming in, maybe casual, seeing the Marvel logo and saying, oh, I'll check that out. You're going to go in and be fucking lost. You're going to have no idea what the hell is going on. The show does a horrible job at telling the backstories of these characters. It's literally like, oh, hey, that's Black Bolt. Oh, hey, that's his wife, Medusa. What else? What about their backstory? What about them as people or their feelings and emotions? Let me get to know them. But no, you don't get any of that. And these actors, look, you can tell it's TV actors. And I don't want to say that all actors on TV are bad, because that's dumb. Of course there are great actors on TV. But this is to the point where it's so wooden, it's so monotone. Nobody ever even yells or grows any level above normal range of talking. And so there's no weight behind anything that they're saying. The dialogue is atrocious. This is some of the worst dialogue I think I've ever seen. And maybe that doesn't help. It doesn't help that these actors are having to spew this horrible dialogue that means nothing, explains nothing, says nothing. Like I said, Medusa, I'm sure people have seen the pictures or from the trailers of how in the comics she's supposed to have this long red hair that moves around and does things on her command. And yeah, the CGI for it is terrible. It is. It's like I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt and see it in actual motion, but no, it's like they didn't even bother to touch it up for this IMAX experience. They didn't even bother to make it look even better than what it's going to look when it's on TV. It's just, shooting in IMAX did not help. Look, there are moments where like a character's walking through the woods or the forest, or these big shots that go, okay, like for a TV show this looks decent, but for an actual movie it still looks cheap. For an actual movie it still looks amateur because of the directing and how the cameras are placed. It doesn't look like something that should be in IMAX. It doesn't look like all these other IMAX movies that you've seen, like The Dark Knight, or like all these big scope movies where you see it shot in IMAX and you go, yeah, I can see it. It's obvious. So that was misguided. If you just put this in regular theaters for a weekend, okay, still wouldn't have made as much sense, but still, Shooting in IMAX did not really help anything. Maximus, who ends up being the main villain, he's played by Ramsay from Game of Thrones. I'm sure people remember him. And you think, wow, you got that guy to play the villain here? It's going to be great. And maybe he gets better. But he too, it's just, he's shackled. He's chained. And he can't do much more emotion than your normal, hey, I'm a villain and I want to take over and I want power. I'm jealous of my brother who's the king. Really, we already have this going on with Loki and Thor, and it's 100 times better than what I'm seeing here. Speaking of the brother, Black Bolt is, I guess, the main character. He's the king of this. It's a moon. It's our moon that the Inhumans are living on. And he's the king, but his whole deal is that he doesn't talk. I know that's the character from the comics, is that he doesn't talk, because if he does talk, his voice, even a little bit of his voice, will fucking cause this seismic just beam that will kill you instantly if you're around it and set off all this stuff. And it's like, okay, sure, you're telling me that he's powerful, but he's the main character and I don't get to hear him speak. At least give me some inner dialogue with him. Show me some of what he's thinking. Nothing. This actor is just giving us these weird facial expressions, and because he can't talk, you have to get an actor who can pull that off. You have to get an actor who can convey emotion, convey sadness or betrayal, hurt. Show me what you're feeling through your face, through your eyes, not just these weird, almost doing a Blue Steel like look from Zoolander. That's what just the same face the whole fucking time. The actress who plays Medusa, she's okay. She is. But this is a little bit of a spoiler. But even though the CGI looks bad for her hair, you kind of go like, well, at least there's that. Her hair being wavy and knocking people out and doing stuff. And then in the first episode, they shave her head. It's clearly because they didn't want to deal with the budget and the CGI of what it would have cost to do that throughout the whole series. So they shave her head and she doesn't have the hair anymore. It takes away her greatest power. Great, I know you want to strip down these characters and leave them vulnerable, but I didn't even get a chance to know them at their height before you just brought them down to that level. Really quick, the other characters, you have this character Gordon, black dude who has hooves for feet. He was okay. He had a sense of humor. Karnak, who, again, the actor was fine, but I thought the writing for him was terrible. And Euron, who's the sister of Medusa, and that actress was not good. She wasn't. And Lockjaw. Lockjaw, I'm sure you've seen from the trailers, is this big, huge dog that is like their pet and can do things. And the CGI for that is god-awful. This is something to where I can watch Guardians of the Galaxy and watch some pretty out there stuff. Some weird designs for aliens, a talking raccoon and a talking tree. It's not that I can't get into this. It's not that this is too far-fetched for me to get into. It just looks like shit. I can't get into something that looks like a cartoon, that looks like fucking just a big glob of CGI in front of my face. And the cliffhanger was lame as fuck. It's one of those cliffhangers that's like, ooh, don't you want to see what happens in the next episode? No! I can't believe it, but I don't think I'm going to continue this show once it airs on TV. This was a big fucking waste of time. And even though I didn't pay full price, they're asking you to pay like over $18 for the regular IMAX price to go see some bullshit like this. That's why this gets a big old fuck you. I almost can't believe that I'm giving something Marvel a fuck you. I did give that to Iron Fist, I think. But still, this you should have at least cut the price in half for the quality that you're giving me. Don't make us pay full price. And it's not even worth, honestly, watching on TV. Don't waste your time. Fuck this bullshit. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you too were suckered into seeing the Inhumans in IMAX. What did you think of it? Or if you're interested in seeing this on TV, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya!